Love is what we give when we receive, so keep it burning. Gift your soul and let it be. Soon you'll find your gift of legacy. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you. Faith will keep you strong where you belong. Just believe it. Dreams to help you grow, to reap and sow, you receive it. So give your soul and let it be. Soon you'll find your gift of legacy. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you. Yay.
Best part.
Heart, it's for my Candz every time. Yay, you're back. I mean, now you were back last week already, but it's our first time presenting together since you were.
Never mind our first time presenting together. It's our first time even just being together.
Seeing each other. Since you were hanging around in the pyramids.
Yeah, I love you here. Absolutely amazing. Jenny, it's so nice to see you as well. I love the new hair color. Very, very nice.
Lovely.
And to all our regulars that are here tonight, we really appreciate you and the dedication that you've had for like the last year almost. Goodness me.
Yes. So it seems in the last couple of weeks, I don't know if it's winter, it's load shedding certainly in Johannesburg right now. I've got load shedding. I have a generator running to be here. But many of our community hop on at the very last minute or seem to hop on during the calls. And so thank you for those of you who are here faithfully every single time, showing up and adding your energy to our beautiful community. We're so grateful for you. So let us know who's here for the first time.
Shame, Alistair, you do more than your best. You've literally been on every Zoom call that I've ever been on. So I think that's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing, for sure.
Ramai is from New Zealand, 6 a.m. Fantastic.
Oh, it's already Wednesday in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's dedication, the 6 a.m. call.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd rather be on a 6 a.m. call with GL than going to the gym, that's for sure. Or maybe he's at the
gym. Oh, that's because you live in the countryside. You can just go for a nice walk in your back garden. The benefits. All righty. So it's 8 o'clock. Candz, should we share our presentation and then catch up after? Was there anything that you wanted to share with the community to begin with?
No, I think what I'll do is I'll just share as we're going through the presentation. I'll put the right things in the right places where they need to be and said. That's what we'll do tonight.
Awesome.
So I think I'd like to introduce you because we're swapping tonight, and you are doing the beginning and I'm doing the boards, which is a big change for us. So I would just like to introduce the lovely Angela, Angela and I met because we were both doing presentations. Well, I was actually doing presentations and Angela was always coming to those presentations. We were doing a Tuesday and a Thursday. And then Angela said to me, if you ever need help, I would love to help. And I said, great, you do Thursdays, I'll do Tuesdays. And then, of course, we had Chris doing a Wednesday with his community and Tim doing a Thursday as well with his community. So we were all kind of, you know, promoting the same thing and sharing the same beautiful gifting community. But we were kind of competing with one another because certain people would come to our calls, other people would go to their calls. So I got hold of them the one day and I just said, why don't we collaborate and let's support each other on our calls and let's see how that works. And within the first week, the community had grown like by 10 times and it just grew and grew and grew. And Angela and my friendship grew and grew and grew as well. And I'm just so honored to be sitting here and I can call her a friend. She's not just somebody that I met on Gift of Legacy. She's become a very, very good friend to me, very special lady. But Angela comes from a long line of entertainment. She is a shining star and I'm always so honored to be presenting with her, but she has starred in productions such as Candz, Evita, so many more that I actually can't even remember right now. And she also comes from a corporate background. So she is very talented and multifaceted. And she's been around since the very beginning of GL. And it's just so wonderful to be here with you. And like I say, your friendship means more to me than any gifts in the dollars that it's worth. So it's pretty priceless, as MasterCard says. And yeah, just so happy to be presenting with you. And I see that you've got different flowers today, but you're wearing a yellow top.
I know.
So I always comment on Angela's yellow flowers and it's always yellow roses. And I've actually got 3 pots of yellow roses now in my life since I moved house. And yellow actually symbolizes friendship. So how does it get better than that?
For your birthday, I sent you yellow roses.
Yes.
Yellow is our color. So just as well, I'm wearing my yellow jersey. So Candz, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When we joined Gift of Legacy, or certainly when we joined our precursor, and when we say it as presenters that you really don't know what your sacred yes is going to open up, it really is a thing. If I think of how our lives have changed so much and the relationships that we've grown and the experiences that we've had, and I think the beautiful thing is that if all of those fall away, when you know it's really authentic, is if there was no GL, if there was nothing like that now, you and I would still be friends. And that's $100 cannot buy you that. So I'm so grateful for you and for this community. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know Candz, she is part of our, we call the core 4. It's like you get the big 5 in the wild and then you get the core 4 in GL, which just means that she has had many, many sleepless nights, put in an exhausting amount of intellectual property, and she's really at the heart of what's happening in development that's taking place within GL and this beautiful program that we now have in place. So if you're here for the first time, you're hearing it basically from the horse's mouth. And, you know, she kind of made her way into this world coming from hairdressing. So she was a successful businesswoman. She had her own salon, an award-winning salon. Anyone who's been able to, you know, get her to even do their hair since she's left hairdressing, there's a few in the community will be able to attest to her massive talent in that area. But Candz during lockdown, and some injuries from standing, I mean, being a stylist is it's hard on the body, had made a decision to do some other stuff. And she was introduced to our precursor program. And, you know, like we share this in common. We don't take everything at face value. We like to really suss things out a little bit, check them out a bit. And Candz took her merry time until basically the universe couldn't have made it any clearer that you needed to join this community. And, you know, here's the thing. She joined like every one of us joined. We all just joined going, okay, well, you know, this there's something in this. This feels special. And so I'm going to put $100 in and see what happens. And I can bring 2 friends. And now on this journey, we've been here for a year and a half, been through all the boards, been through all these experiences. We've done all of the 2 a.m.s as we were migrating, 2-3 o'clock in the mornings, on a couple of hours sleep. Jamie's also nodding. She was also in there doing some of that with us. And so when we are here to share this invitation to create more abundance with you, we share that from a place of knowing what it's like to be introduced to this for the first time and go, what is that? And maybe not getting it all. And we've also speaking from a place of receiving. And the beauty of this community is that we all receive exactly the same amount. We all give exactly the same amount. We can all go through the journey. There's no kind of special cases. If you just do what the program offers you, you can make it all the way through. So it's a real honor for us to share with you tonight. So I'm going to, with that in mind, share my screen and take you through this thing that has made our lives what they are today in the most beautiful possible way. I'm just quickly shoveling things around my screen a bit. There we go. And let me just pop that out. There we go. So if you are here for the first time, welcome to Gift of Legacy. We were all about the yellow just now. Gift of Legacy certainly has colored our world. I didn't think my world needed coloring. I have had a pretty exciting career traveling the world and doing things that, people find very romantic, everything, all the opulence of being a performer, as well as the hard work. So it wasn't like I came to this community thinking that I needed my world colored, and you don't know what you need until you receive it. And so I can honestly speak to this. This is a gifting activity. It's creating abundance, and it's bringing more to our lives than I can ever explain to you, that we can ever explain to you in one sitting. If you're here by invitation only, because as we go along, you will see that as a community, we only required to invite 2 friends. And so whoever's invited you has handpicked you. They think that this might be something that'll be of interest to you, and they believe that it's something that could really change your life and your financial reality and so much more. So before we get going, I just want to say that this is for presentation sharing only. We are not financial advisors. We are speaking from our experience in this community and what you can expect. So Candz and I, or any of the other presenters and leadership on the team, aren't registered financial or tax advisors, but there are many in our community. So if you need to check it out or chat to one of us, just let us know. My little system is going wonky tonight, so I'm just going to scoot through all of the nice transitions. So how do we find ourselves where we are? So I think just in general around the world, there is this need, particularly post-COVID, where many of us were kind of in jobs, or we had a false sense of security, and a lot of us were dependent on the current financial structures or our jobs, or the way society was, which amazingly is like over 2 years ago already. But we were dependent on that structure. And now, where we come from now, where we've seen what's happened in our world, and where we, maybe put all of our trust in one system, how we now need to take our independence back as a society, as a community. And so sharing, caring, automated gifting economies are arising all over the world as people join together. And this is the key thing, to thrive instead of merely survive. Because, it's all noble to be a survivor, but you can change the world if you are thriving. So we are growing beyond the current monetary structures, and alternative currencies are emerging. And of course, a new economic paradigm is replacing the outdated traditional structures that no longer serve society. This is a great quote by Irvin Laszlo. He said, either we will join together for an ecological civilization in the next few years, or we will become extinct. So that's something really to ponder. And so this is where we find ourselves here at Gift of Legacy. And this is one of these it is an alternative economy, as I've just mentioned. It is a gifting activity. I'd never heard of gifting activities before I got introduced, a year and a half ago. I think Candz had made her way through a few more, and she'd, learned some lessons. So she actually had something to compare it to. I just kind of had a sense of, okay, well, this could be interesting. Probably, who knows, it might be a bit dodge, but let me just check it out. And thank goodness it wasn't, because I would never have stayed. But essentially, Gift of Legacy is a gifting activity. And what makes us unique is that we are supported by this unique algorithm that drives, and here's the key word, the sustainable movement of gifts between individuals globally. And that word is key, as you'll see, as we unpack this a little bit further, that one wants to be in a place that's not a get rich quick scheme, or that you throw $100 into and then, you make it once off and off you go again. We want to be able to change people's lives consistently and sustainably. So although gifting, as I said, has been a well-kept secret, it has changed the lives of millions. You're going to see some of those numbers as we're going through. So let's talk about gifting a little bit. Who's it for? So here's a couple of sentences that might ping for you. Do you believe in the principle of sowing and reaping? Do you believe in give and you shall receive? Do you enjoy blessing someone that you don't even know? Oh, it's such a fun thing to do. Do you want to take control of your life? Be the CFO, that's the chief financial officer of your own life. And do you enjoy helping others to succeed in life? So if any of these resonate with you, you're in the right place at the right time. And let's talk about our global gifting activity. So the beautiful thing about Gift of Legacy is that we have no limitations on borders, and we have members in over 100 countries. That's really quite incredible, considering that this community, this platform started 4 months ago. We started with 7,900 people, and now we're at the 300,000 mark. Candz will give us that final number, and we're growing every single day. And the beauty of this global gifting community activity is that we are uplifting communities and ourselves. You know the analogy of the airplane where when they say if the oxygen levels drop, grab your mask first, take care of yourself, and then you can help people around you. And this is exactly what this is giving us the opportunity to do, to firstly help ourselves. And then it's actually not the one or the other, but while you're helping yourself, you can already start changing the lives of the people around you, of really being a force for good in your communities. So not only creating abundance, but we're also encouraging self-development. And as Candz shows you the boards, you'll see why we say that in terms of the kinds of training. Right in the beginning, just even coming on a Zoom call is intimidating for people, let alone learning how to use gifting platforms. It might be your first time introduced to things like PayPal or Wise, whatever it might be. Even those of us who are new to crypto, etc. Not that we're a crypto platform, but some people gift using crypto. And so many of our community, and I get so excited when we see, sort of the breaking the stereotypes, where you'll see people in our communities are much older, and you think that they wouldn't be into doing, kind of dabbling into how to gift and receive with crypto, and they're in there and they're doing it and they're loving it. That's all part of that self-development that's taking place. But all of this is based on sacred economics. So yeah, gifting has been around since mankind, essentially. It is our way to help one another, to give and receive. But this modern version traces back to the 60s. And in Africa, of course, we call it the Ubuntu culture. Communities coming together to help one another. And I know every one of you in your country, if you're watching this on YouTube, what is that thing that you call when you come together as a community to help one another? It's 100% legal. It's been off the mainstream system for decades. How does it get better than this? Well, by blessing millions, because we are redistributing wealth into the hands of many, not to the tune of $100 or more. Have a look at this figure. Now, this presentation is a couple of weeks old already, so I know that this number has significantly increased, but it's more than 35 million US dollars that has already been gifted amongst our GL members. That's just within our community. And Candz, I don't know if you know what that final number is now. Maybe you and Alan can give us those details on Friday night during your presentation. but I would imagine it's well over the 40 million by this point. So we'll find out a little bit more. And that's significant, because then you really are able to bring hope to people. We're able to educate them about alternative financial abundance. You know, there's just so many things that people are learning globally with this beautiful community. So we are indeed blessing millions. It's decentralized. Now, this is the word, the buzzword at the moment. What does it mean? Well, there's no company, institution, broker, or trader. Let me repeat that. This is not a company. We're not an institution. It's not an investment scheme. There are no brokers. There are no traders. It is simply an interactive website that manages the movement of our boards in our gifting activity. That's at the heart of, well, that's what supports. So I would say at the heart is the community, but that is the cog that drives our community, is an interactive website. It's by the people, for the people. So there is nobody overseeing us, paying us out on a certain day of the month, you know, keeping your money and deciding when you receive it, etc., etc. It's as simple as that. And all you need to participate is a computer or a smartphone and an internet connection. And all the South Africans on the call are going, yeah, if there's no load shedding. And of course, then WhatsApp and Telegram are very, very useful, because that's how we communicate with one another, as well as on email. So you want to join up those as well. And why? Because, as I said, we communicate with one another, because there's not a company or someone doing that for us. So when we gift each other, when you join our community, and Candz is going to take you through that $100 that you're going to gift with, you're going to give to another human, all of it, to someone else. And you're going to contact them directly. You're going to say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and how can I gift you? And all of that is just between one another, facilitated by our algorithm. So there's no third party controlling any money, and there's no tokens being held on a platform. So it's 100% risk-free. Your greatest risk is to give $100 into someone else's dreams and into their lives. And no matter what would happen with that, you know, giving of yourself, giving that kind of a gift will always return something to you along the way. So peer-to-peer. And then my other favorite P word, well, I've got another one as well. The South Africans know that one as well. But in this instance, perpetual, which means ongoing, non-stop, passive, and occurring repeatedly, sustainably, and frequently, over and over and over again for generations to come. And that's exactly what we've created here. Our very clever developers, Candz being part of that team, have created something that can be around, that you'll be able to will to your family, to your loved ones. And I mean, oh my gosh, one can't actually put a limit on what perpetual means, because anything is possible in that space. So Gift of Legacy is more than just a gifting activity, as you're starting to see. We help each other grow and succeed while we're supporting each other and uplifting one another. And this is my favorite. When you join, you're gifting from your heart. And I know that there's hope and anticipation in that. Then once you move up to the next level, you start sharing. Well, actually, as soon as you want to, you can start sharing, but you start sharing the love with those around you. Then you start helping to guide your team, and finally you become a legend. And that's where you're going to build your legacy. And then, you know what the best part is? We get to do it all over again and again and again and again, to infinity and beyond. So we're a community with the same vision. We want to change lives, our lives, and being able to be an invitation for people around us to change their lives too. So Candz is about to take us through. As she goes through, you'll be depicted by the orange yellow. I've got yellow on the mind. The orange circle, and I'm just going to talk about how you join a board, how you gift your legend on that board $100, how you share a gift of legacy with like-minded, like-hearted people who are going to do the same. And we're going to take a look at your journey through our 4 boards, our $100, $400, $1,600, and $5,000 boards. Look at your roles as gifter, builder, guide, and legend, how you will receive gifts on your first cycle through the boards, totaling $42,700. I say that like that happens every day. I have no idea where you can, put $100 and receive 501% return on that. I mean, please, if you know, then just feel free to let me know as well. And then on your perpetual cycle, of course, totaling just under $50,000, 49,700 over and over and over and again. And if your mind is going, oh my gosh, no, that seems too good to be true. I get that, because that was my thinking. I'm here to tell you that it is not too good to be true, because this is a mathematical certainty, easily achievable for everybody who just plays the game as it's set out. So let's get started. I'm going to hand over to Candz to take us through the journey of the boards.
Thank you so much. And just going back to that figure where you said that, since Gift of Legacy has launched, Gift of Legacy has been responsible for distributing wealth of $35 million. That's just incredible. And it's not a figure that we sucked out of our thumbs. It is fact. It is fact. I mean, just last week we had just over 12,000 bronze gifters arrive. And that's just in a week. In a month, we had 12 or 30, in a month, since the 19th of April until the 19th of May, we had 13 platinum legends that completed their boards. So this is serious. Like this is for real. And you can play on the bronze board and go over and over and over on the bronze board, but why would you want to stop there? There is so much more that you can get out of this. And it's all about gifting and receiving. So now that I've piqued your interest with all of those wonderful figures, you are probably asking, well, okay, how do I get started? So like Ange said, you enter Gift of Legacy by gifting $100 to the legend on the board. So your inviter will send you a very special and unique link that is only for you. And you will click on that link. You'll go and you'll sign up. You'll put all of your details in. All that you need to put in is your personal information. You don't have to put credit card details or banking details or any of that. And then once you've signed up, you'll get a lovely home screen that has your 4 boards, your bronze, your silver, your gold, and your platinum. The 3 boards to the right of the bronze will be locked, but your bronze board will say join. And then when you are ready with your gift, you click that join button, you'll get placed on a board, and then you will see all of the wonderful people and the community that are on the board. And really and truly, it is the one and only time you will ever take money out of your own pockets. Gifting, and this is what I absolutely love. And a couple of weeks ago, while I was away, we had a massive scare with bots. Now, even if there's 1 million bots, the beauty of Gift of Legacy is that we have to get hold of one another to arrange for the gifting. And you won't be able to do that with the bot. So, we say if you're on your board, and I'll go into a little bit more detail later, and someone hasn't contacted you, we have the power to remove somebody. And that's why it is so important that peer-to-peer is really shown here, because 100% of all the gifts are sent directly to a legend from a gifter. And how do we do that? We use amazing payment gateways. There's Airtime, there's Wise, there's WorldRemit, Revolut, Bank Transfer, PayPal, and crypto. And if you are on here for the first time, take a picture of that and go and download all those apps, do your due diligence, get your verification done, because most of these apps will need, like opening a bank account, they'll need a copy of your ID and proof of address, but then at least you sorted. Like imagine having all these payment gateways sorted before you even click the join button, because once you click that join button and you become a gifter, in the same motion, you're going to get hold of that legend and ask them how to receive their gift. And what's beautiful is there is no middleman or third party ever. So this is what a board looks like. A little bit complicated when you're seeing it for the first time, but there are 4 of them. There is a bronze, which you start on, which is your $100 board. There is a silver, which is your $400 board. There is a gold, which is a $1,600, and there is a platinum, which is the $5,000. So you will start, like we said, with $100 in your entry, and you'll start as a gifter. And when you go through the cycles, and if you look, gifter, builder, guide, legend, you only have to go through 3 more cycles once you become a gifter, and then you become a legend, and you exit with 8 times that amount. That's $800. So let's unpack that a little bit. So here we have a bronze board. So remember, now you've clicked join, and you then can see that it says view. You click view, and then you'll land up seeing this on the board. You might not necessarily be gifter number 1. You could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. It all depends where your inviter is sitting as a builder. Now, I love talking about this because it really is a beautiful journey of self-discovery. When you go on as a gifter, you've given your sacred yes, you're very excited, but you also don't know. Like Angela said, she was very, very apprehensive about this because she just didn't want to get involved in another get-rich-quick scheme and have all her friends run away from her. So you go through that, and then you realize you need to start speaking to people. And that is where your why is so very important, because the 2 people that I thought would jump on this with me are the people that still are not involved in this with me. I think every other friend I've managed to get involved in Gift of Legacy, except for the first 2 that I approached. And that's because I was so excited. I tried to give a presentation like I'd just seen and fell flat on my face. It sounded so salesy, and I could even hear like the way that I was talking. It was just a disaster. But it's a journey of self-discovery, because with every no, you get closer to a yes. And that is fact. It's mathematical certainty that with every no, you are going to get closer to a yes. But then you find your 2 people, and you have this renewed trust and this excitement again. But let's just carry on with being a gifter. So you will be a gifter. Let's just say you are gifter number 1, which will mean that your inviter is builder number 1. And builder number 1 will have their second invitee. And then, of course, builder number 2 will have their third and fourth invitee. Builder number 3 will then get their 5th and 6th. And builder number 4 will get 7 and 8. And when the 8th gifter comes onto that board and they are confirmed, you can see that there's the left and the right hemisphere. So the board splits, or we say it splits or it spins, and then each board becomes its own board in their own right. And you'll see there's 2 guides. So each guide becomes a legend, and then the gifters become the builders become the guides. So now you've moved up and you are a builder. This is the most important position on the board. And I've said this before, but now with a few changes in the technology and the program, it is even more important. Because if you are coming from a background where you have a good team and you've got a big network and you want them to follow you, this is the time that you are going to invite. And that is why we've called the position builder, because now you are building your legacy. You are getting your teams together. And if you're not a big networker like me, organically, you will find the right people. I eventually did find the right people because I changed the way I spoke about this. And I got my gifters when I was a builder. Then you'll see you are builder number 1. You've got your 2 gifters. Then builder number 2 will get gifter 3 and 4. Builder number 3 will get gifter 5 and 6. And builder number 4 will get 7 and 8. The board will split again, and these 2 sides will become their own boards, and you will become a guide. Now, the beautiful thing is when you're a guide, you are now in a position where you can help your builders to get their gifters. And I think that's also really important, because if you do this correctly, you'll be able to duplicate the process and your work could end there. You can just be a support for your builders. So if you get your 2 people and you think, my job is done, I'm done, I don't need to do any more work, guess what? Positions or gifters number 1 to 8 are going to be sitting empty, because you've just got your 2, but guess what? Those 2 need their 2, and those 2 require those 2, and that is how we get beautiful movement and momentum on the boards. But in this situation, all of the gifters came in, and the legend was so excited, confirmed the last gifter, and now the board splits, and you are finally a legend in your own right. You've done everything the right way, because now your 2 builders are on each side of you that have become guides, and their people that they brought in are the builders. And it is just beautiful, because they are going to support, and you are going to get 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, and $800 from each gifter that comes onto your board. I mean, how amazing is that? So it doesn't end there. And I find a lot of communities that have exploded and gone crazy seem to only go on the bronze board. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see that you can either keep $700 and put $100 back in for your perpetual, but then you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to keep receiving $700. And the way that inflation's going and the way the world's changing, we definitely require more than $700 to be the change in the world that we want to see. So out of your $800 that you receive, you are going to hold back $400. Now, the beautiful thing, and I'll unpack it a little bit later, but we've got something called Fast Track. So when you get your first 4 gifts, instead of spending them because you're so excited, you can actually place yourself, provided you've got your 2 people and you followed all of the guidelines that we suggest. But after those first 4 gifts, you can join your silver board straight away, gift the legend, guarantee your spot as a gifter on the silver board, and then you'll be able to receive your last 4 gifts. Obviously, you're going to keep $300 for you, so $300 will go in your pockets, and $100 will be used to enter your perpetual bronze board. So that is the most amazing way to play this. And I would really suggest, if you are new and you want to just test it out and you're apprehensive, don't just stop at the bronze board and take $700, because within a month or 2, you could be receiving on the 400 board. But the beautiful thing about the perpetual cycle is, like I said, you will go back in, you'll see your board will close. It will say join, you click join, then you'll click view, and you will be a gifter on a new board with completely different people, unless you are following a team and there are builders on that board, then you will follow them. But the beautiful thing is, as each person comes after they've completed behind you, they will join you and you will get to legend. And when you receive $800, remember this time round, you only need that $100 to go back in, because you've already placed yourself on that 400 board, and it is the gift that keeps on giving. Of course, if you land on a perpetual board and you want it to move faster, nothing stops you from inviting more people and bringing them into that space to get the movement to go faster. And it really is like a Ferris wheel, and it will be a gift over and over and over that you really can hand down through generations to come. So this is your silver board. You enter with $400, you go through all of the cycles, and you exit with $3,200. Remember, you only put in $100 in that first round that you joined. So $3,200, what you're going to do now, and you can do exactly the same thing. When you get your first 4 gifts, join the gold board. Make sure you've got a position on that gold board. Because can you imagine if you waited for all 8 gifts and then joined the gold board? It could have already spun twice in the time that you waited. So if you are not great at managing money, hold back that first 4 gifts, get onto the gold board, gift your legend, confirm your spot, then you can let it go and just trust that it's going to move the way that it does. You're going to hold back $400 so you can go on your perpetual journey. So out of that $3,200, you have used $2,000 to put back into the community to ensure that you are on the perpetual and the next round. But the amazing thing is, you get to keep $1,200. So I know even in the US, that's a nice chunk of change to have in your pockets. And in South Africa, oh my goodness, multiply that by 15, or probably anywhere else in the world, it's probably worth a lot. So incredible. And now you've taken that $400 and you've joined a new $400 board on your perpetual cycle. Everybody that's following you, provided you're in a builder position, will come onto that board and push your movement forward. You'll go through all the cycles, get to legend, and just keep repeating this over and over and over. Next board. This is one of my favorite boards because I just love the energy of gold. But you enter with $1,600 and you exit with $12,800. Of that $12,800, you are going to use $6,600 to make sure that you've got a place in the next round on being on the platinum board, and of course your perpetual gold. And I know $6,600 feels like a lot to give away, but remember, you're gifting it to somebody that's in this just like you are, that has very similar hopes and dreams and wants to change the world. So whenever you give a gift, it really has to be from the heart, because that's how you would like to receive it too. The beautiful thing is you get to keep $6,200 in your pocket to do with whatever you want. Now, what I normally do, because I have received on the gold, is I've taken at least 1 or 2 of those gifts and I have sponsored people into love heart positions, which I will explain a little bit later. But you know what? $100 times 2, so $6,200 minus $200, still got $6,000, and I've helped 2 people that might not be able to get people, but definitely deserve a break in life. So 5,000 platinum board, perpetual board of 1.6. You're going to enter that and you're going to go through the cycles. But this time round, you are going to be keeping $11,200 because you only need to use $1,600 to keep getting put on the perpetual cycle. Really like a Ferris wheel, except Ferris wheels have an end because you can only ride them for so long. Where this, it's up to you for how long you want to ride this beautiful Ferris wheel. The final platinum board, $5,000. Like I said, we've had 20, and this is not counting this week, we've had 25 people that have completed this $5,000 board and have all become $35,000 richer. Obviously, you exit with 40,000, but remember, this is a perpetual journey that you definitely don't want to miss out on. And like I said, with the fast track in place, what's beautiful is with your, sorry, I'm going to confuse myself if I say anything more. With this, you obviously have to wait until you get all of your gifts, because you can only join a platinum board once you've completed, and you use $5,000 so that you can keep the dream going perpetually over and over again. The beautiful thing is that this platinum board pretty much is a perpetual board, because you don't need to use anything over and above the $5,000 that you are putting back in, so you can keep riding these beautiful boards of abundance. So just a quick summary, because I know numbers and it's crazy. Your $100 perpetual board, you will receive $800. You'll be able to keep $700. Your $400 silver board, you will be able to keep $2,800. Your 1,600 gold board, you'll be able to keep $11,200. And of your 5,000 platinum board, you'll be able to keep $35,000. Just imagine how much good we can do in the world with all of this abundance. Absolutely amazing. And let me tell you, since I've been in Gift of Legacy, I've been very joyful, and money follows joy. So the gifts just keep on coming. And it's just beautiful, because I share them, and whenever the time feels right, and I've done it with no pressure on myself. I think in the last 4 months, I've probably joined up about 12 different people. And, that's happened organically. I haven't gone out every day and stressed myself out about having to talk to people. So you've got to do what works for you. But the beautiful thing, like Angela said earlier, first cycle through all the boards is $42,700. And if it takes you a year, where else are you going to earn and get gifted $42,700 in a year? There is no institution out there. There's probably no get rich quick scheme out there that can guarantee that amount of money for you. And then, of course, with your perpetual cycle, because you've already gifted your way up through all of the boards, you are going to be getting gifts to the value of $49,700. This is for real. It's true. We've got, like I said, 25 people that can attest to having gone through all of the cycles, and even more and more and more will come as time goes by.
Yes, and that was just, I'm glad that you said that, Candz, because it's been 4 months. That's how long we've been on this platform for. So that's significant to have that many people going through our platinum boards as well. And of course, many, many more through all the other boards. So how does it get better than that? Well, I'm just going to quickly recap some of what Candz has shared with us. Thank you, Candz, for making that so understandable. As Candz was saying, it's a lot to take in with all the numbers. So just as a quick reminder, on your first cycle through, you're gifting $100 to the legend on the board. You're inviting 2 like-minded, like-hearted people to journey with you. Make sure those are people that you would want to go on the most wonderful trip with, or you'd want to start a business with, or, not anyone who you just are like, oh my gosh, I need someone, I'll just put them there. Invite people that you want to journey with, and then help your invitees to do the same. So there's 3 things. That's the 3 things to remember on your first cycle: gift, invite, and help. And then once you're in the perpetual cycle, once you've completed your first cycle, you're going to be able to re-enter the boards. You'll be able to re-enter and access a board, the perpetual cycle of the same value. Please do this. It is crucial to our unique algorithm, and that's part of driving the sustainable movement of gifts. So, know as upfront when you're joining. Don't think, as Candz said, oh, well, I'm just going to get to the bronze board and just keep taking $700, and you're robbing yourself. And there's so much more out there, and that we can do as a community if we all faithful in giving and receiving over and over again. Also, just again, important to note that you can't advance or enter the perpetual cycles unless you have your 2 confirmed invitees. So what makes Gift of Legacy unique? And Candz, as we go through this, if you want to hop in or add anything, our system, because it's something that has been growing and developing as we've gone along, there are tweaks and little things that are happening all the time. So if there's anything new you want to share, please feel free to. But just to say, this is very user-friendly. As Candz mentioned when she was saying, you will receive your own unique personal profile. It's informative. It's easy to use. There's chat features. There are all kinds of lovely features in there. There's training materials. Everything's at your fingertips. Another amazing piece is the fail-safe system. I think for many people joining, and particularly if you find people building that are built before in various multi-level companies, etc., this is not multi-level marketing, but a lot of the time people have an idea of how the algorithm works, and that there's this one feature that makes it work. Gift of Legacy is a little bit more complex than that. We've got various methods that the algorithm uses to keep the boards moving. So there's fail-safes built in all around. As I've said, we've got this algorithm that's groundbreaking, and it takes care of new participants as you join, in telling you where to go, and how to do it. But at the same time, it's rewarding the existing participants. And part of that reward is, and it's a question many people ask who've been in gifting platforms before that are maybe not quite as elegant and as advanced as this algorithm is. The question will be, so what if the people ahead of me don't do what they need to do, or they fall away or whatever, then the boards are going to get stuck. Well, this is one of those places where our algorithm, or if they don't, bring their 2 invitees, etc., the algorithm has built into it to put those people on pause, on a sacred pause, and allow everyone else to continue to move through. So we've got many wonderful fail-safes in place. Cross-pollination. Well, right from the get-go, you become part of a global community. So gone are the days of the sort of the minimalistic Stockfell type gifting where someone's sitting with a spreadsheet and, putting everyone's names down and building in this way. Here, we've got this algorithm that's allowing us to be in over 100 countries, over 300,000 people already. And we all gifting. This week, I've been receiving gifts from people in South America, Brazil, there've been people in Russia, there's people around the world. And so you're using translation as part of this education we're talking about, to speak to one another, to complete strangers, understand, how we're gifting, are we doing this? And you're making friends around the world. And that's what makes
on that, Ange.
Yeah.
I just want to tag on that. So a lot of people are always asking for more information about the algorithm. And we've always promised that Gift of Legacy was going to be unique, and it was going to be completely different to any other platform out there. And like Ange said, although it sounds like an MLM or network marketing thing, it really is not. Yes, you need 2 people that, bring 2 people that bring 2 people. And I think that's the only thing that's similar about it. The algorithm is not something that we're ever going to share. It's like asking Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken to share his secret spice. Kentucky Fried Chicken has been around for a very long time, and nobody has been able to copy that spice. And that is our special spice of Gift of Legacy, is the algorithm. And it really does work. It might take longer than some people thought. And it's definitely not something that we've ever said that you can rely on. It's something that helps with the movement of the boards, but it's not something that you can sit back and wait to come and save you, because it's not going to. If you want to do something like that, then rather put your money into a crowdfunding thing where you don't actually have to do anything. This requires energy, and where energy goes, so does attention. And it's just really, really beautiful if you get it. And I mean, Jenny O'Boyle's on this call. She's built an incredible team, and they've had success from the get-go because they followed the guidelines. Now, cross-pollination, we've always spoken about cross-pollination, and it feeds the global community. So what's beautiful and how we've managed to actually get cross-pollination really working well is that when you are a gifter or a builder, and you're inviting people, they will come to your board. If you are a legend or a guide, remember we said as a builder, that is the most important position, because that is where you're going to be bringing your people. So as a guide, that opportunity's kind of gone because you've moved into a guide position. And so from a guide and a legend position, you can definitely still invite, and they will definitely help you with your invite count, because remember, if you do not have your 2 people, once you've completed as a legend, you will be automatically sidelined until you have your 2 people. But if you are inviting from a guide or a legend position, your invitees will go and cross-pollinate the oldest board. And then when you're a builder or a gifter, and they've completed, they will come back and follow you. So this is going to be amazing for the community, because remember, if your people go to another board, somebody else's people are going to come and contribute to your board. So just be open with it. It works, it really does. And Ange had been doing presentations for at least 2 or 3 months, and she was on boards where there was absolutely no movement. And I'm sharing this because I was even worried about you, and I was starting to think, what is wrong with Angela's boards? Why isn't she getting gifts? And it happened for her too. So I know you don't like to share that, but it's really important that people know that we had to trust, just like everybody else. Just because we're presenters and we're part of the core, we didn't put ourselves at the top of a structure that a network marketing structure would be. We joined boards along with everybody else on the 10th of January, and we all got placed randomly. So, all of the lineages that we brought across came across. So we don't really have the big lineages that we came with. So a lot of us technically do rely on the algorithm, but we're not expecting it to come and help us every single month, because that's not how it works. So I just wanted to put that in there, because those are 2 very, very important things. If you are part of network marketing and you want to be with your teams, you still can be with your teams. Just make sure that you are inviting from a gifter or a builder. And even on the higher boards, if you're a legend or a guide and you want your teams to follow you, it's all about communicating. Tell them not to join boards until you've become a gifter or a builder again. But that's not how it works. That's not where you're going to get the most joy. The most joy is joining a board, getting onto a board when you don't know everyone, using the board chat, which is now fully functional, getting hold of the people on your board, creating a vibe, working together, and becoming a global community. Like Ange said, she's been speaking to South Americans. She's been using DeepL Translator. It is so much fun. I mean, it would be lovely to receive a gift from Angela and from Chris regularly, but it's going to become boring. It's going to become like a business transaction at the end of the day. And we're not going to have that fun and that community vibe if we just keep gifting the same people over and over again.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And yeah, it's thanks for saying that, Candz. I mean, when we first got going, I think within the first 2 weeks, all of us were just receiving gifts. It was great. And then it was like crickets. And I mean, even profiles where I had like, what, 8 people were like, nothing happening. But it's always ebb and flow. And you have to continue to follow the joy, because now, of course, it's, it's fun times in my world, because, a couple of profiles are opening on the $100 boards, and, all sorts of things are happening, and it's amazing. So don't lose faith, and just stick with us. It works. It really does work for everybody. And yeah, it's a fail-safe system. So I love that. Also, just keep in mind with the global community, just to be a little bit patient with each other, because sometimes, someone may contact you from a country where they're way more direct, or just transactional, and don't be easily offended. Or if you just trying to negotiate, understanding different styles of language and stuff, just be patient and learn from each other and enjoy the journey, not just getting the money. Enjoy the journey as well. That's a really fun part. Just remember, although we're saying that you require a minimum of 2 invitees, once you start seeing how this is changing your life and the people around you, you won't want to stop. And that's not just so you can build a big network. That's because lives truly get changed. This week, I was looking after a profile for someone, and they got a gift on the $400 board. And it was, I'd been looking after it for them. They weren't expecting anything to come. And I was able to give them their first $400 gift, and that was 6,000 Rand. I was just like, hi, so there's this thing, and I got this gift for you. And they were like in tears. They couldn't believe this was happening for them. And so then you want to just do that more and more and more, and allow people's lives to change. So
and that's so beautiful, because I've been doing that for a friend as well. And every time I speak to her about it, she's got a very hectic job, and every time I'm like, your profile's a legend on the $400 board. Like, don't you want to get PayPal and your crypto sorted? And then she'd be like, oh. So I just thought, okay, let me do that for her. And she got her first 4 gifts. I didn't even ask her permission. I just put her on the $1,600 board, and she got her last 4 gifts. And she doesn't know, but I'm just waiting for PayPal to transfer the money to me. And I'm going to send her that 3 times $400 gifts. And she is going to be absolutely blown away, because for someone who allows you to manage their profile like that, they don't know what they've got. They don't know the value of what being placed on a $1,600 board is. Like, they have none.
Until they start receiving those gifts. It's such fun. So much fun. So just so you know, we do have a support team that help with, all things GL. They are members of our community. Again, it's by the community for the community. And so you can contact our support on live chat. Just be a little bit patient in terms of people getting back to you. We don't have a paid for call center that's running 24/7. We just have our beautiful community in different time zones. There's someone looking after everything. So that's available to us. And then fast track, Candz, I'm going to let you speak about the fast track, just because, you're right, you've got your finger on the pulse.
Perfect. But just with the community support team, like Angela said, it's not bots. It's actually people that dedicate their time. There's a lady that will sit till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, because once you start getting into it, you don't want to stop. But just if you are on this call and you have sent a request, if you don't hear back from support in 5 days time, just click a reply to the email that you would have got back to them initially. Click reply. You don't need to open up a whole new ticket, because then it will go to somebody else. If you click reply, it will go to the same person that you've been dealing with, and then they can help you further with that. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Thank you.
All right, so fast track. Well, before with fast track, we had a little bit more stricter rules. You actually had to have 4 people before you could enter a silver board. But we realized that was taking the joy away. And like we've said before, money follows joy. So we need to bring the fun back. And now you can fast track, other than having 2 invitees that have been confirmed, you can fast track to silver, provided you've got the $400 that you can take out of your pocket to put in and gift the beautiful legend. Once you've been confirmed on the silver as a gifter by the legend, then the gold board will open up for you. If you've got that $1,600, you join, you gift the legend straight away as soon as you've joined, And once you've been confirmed on the gold board by the legend, the platinum will open up. And if you happen to have that $5,000 lying around and you want to gift it to somebody, you would be able to place yourself on the platinum board as a gifter and then be confirmed. Now, like I said when I was explaining, that's one way to do it. But what I really love about fast tracking is it allows a legend that when they're on a bronze board, they can take their first 4 gifts and put themselves on the silver board before they've completed the bronze. And like I've said, if, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have had $700, you know, we've got a lot of communities that are very new to this. So expenses arise, they may be in debt. It's very easy to spend that $700 or even $800, and then you've got nothing to come back in with. And that's just really not a good idea. So I really advise, whenever you get your first 4 gifts on any of the boards, fast track, you've already got the money, gift the legend, get that position confirmed, and it will just be a fast track to getting your gifts sooner. So please, just on this, don't go and fast track and join a board and just sit there. Just put yourself into the legend's position. They see a gifter, they are so excited, it's finally their turn to receive, and then this gifter is not making contact. And then they try and contact you, and if you have a conversation, that's great. If they don't hear from you, they're going to remove you off the board, but it's not nice. So you don't need to go board hopping or board jumping, or even if like you jump on a board and you the first gifter, believe you me, the other gifters will follow. So if you leave a board and try join another board, it's not going to get better. The grass isn't greener on the other side. All of the boards work the same. So when you join a board, make sure that you are contacting that legend straight away and saying, hi, I'm Candz from South Africa. Lovely to meet you. How can I gift you? If you do want to have a sneak peek, because I know we're humans and we're curious, you place yourself on a board, have a quick look, and remove yourself straight away, hopefully before the legend sees you. So don't leave yourself on a board if you don't have the intention to gift. Remember, you're blocking the flow of your abundance and you're blocking the flow of the legend's abundance. So I've got a really nice template that I send to everyone, just introducing myself if I haven't heard from gifters. And I give them all of my payment gateways. And then I say, please, please, please make contact with me, because if I don't hear from you real soon, I will be forced to remove you from the board to allow the flow of somebody that is more serious about gifting. But don't worry, you can always join another board when you're ready. And legends, when you are removing people from your board, remember, you're not kicking them out of Gift of Legacy. They will be able to join another board when they are ready with their gift.
Yeah, absolutely. I had someone join a board of mine the other day, and they kind of joined and said, hi, I'll gift you when I can. That's not the point. Yeah, bye. The point is that you are here to, as Candz said earlier, you were also a gifter once, and now it's when you, by the time you get to legend, you're ready to receive. So when you're a gifter, make sure you only join if you're there to gift the legend. It's the celebration. It's the legend's moment, right? It's your moment because you arrived on that board, which means that you've made it through something, and it's their turn to receive. So it's beautiful. Important to note, no promoting on social media, please. We don't need to. You only require 2 people. You've got like hundreds of people on your phone that you could probably pick from first. And also it's part of protecting our community. You know, it can get misconstrued in that space. No filling of spaces. Don't put your dog and your cat's name as your invitees. You're gonna have to find the invitees for them then afterwards. And also journey with people that you would start a business with, or you'd go on a divine trip with, or whatever it might be. Make sure that you pick your invitees well. Be the messenger and not the message. As Candz was saying, you know, when we all start out, if we don't really know what we're talking about, you can lose some people along the way. Invite people to Zooms and allow us to do that for you. And also, you know, if you come, we're all a little different. We present differently. So come to more than one Zoom. If you're here for the first time and, you know, you're still deciding, come to the next Zoom on, Thursday night, I think it is. And hear it again, and be sure that this is the place that, you know, is making your heart beat a little faster. attend regular live presentations and watch the recordings. I always use the analogy of a fireplace. If you take, no matter how blazing that fire is, if you take a log of wood out of the fire and it sits outside, it's going to get cold and die. You want to stay in the fire. You want to be at the heartbeat of what's happening. So attend, watch the recordings. It's the same message, different angles, different presenters, and there's lots of training available. My usual sidekick, Reegs, who's been working out of South Africa for a little while, is a military man, and he always says, trained always beats untrained. So
and we've got fantastic training tomorrow because we've changed Saturdays to Wednesdays. So tomorrow night, same time, we've got Jenny and Chris, and they are going to be talking about how to use your power. And that means when you are on the bronze board, how to strategize and build so that you can help yourself and help the system. So I really invite you to come and join that tomorrow. And then next week, Wednesday, I think it's going to be next week, Wednesday, or otherwise the following Wednesday, we say very strictly no promoting on social media. But our beautiful Adele has got some tips for you to use social media to fish. So you're not going to be advertising Gift of Legacy on social media, but she's going to be sharing some knowledge on how you can still use social media to fish and get people's attention, and then hopefully introduce them to Gift of Legacy. So that's next week, Wednesday. So very exciting lineup with all the training coming up. And I can't wait now that we've got the new structure of the weeks as well. Very exciting.
So exciting. So in closing, I mean, it's good to understand that there's no guarantees. If you go to the gym or you make a New Year's resolution, you can take out your gym membership, but unless you actually go and train at the gym, you're not going to have that six-pack that you were aiming for. So the success and failure of any participant will depend on your willingness to participate and follow the guidelines of Gift of Legacy. It does remain your individual responsibility to ensure compliance with the tax laws in your country. And again, Gift of Legacy is a decentralized platform, no third-party ownership or partnership. If you join Gift of Legacy via a third-party package, or you join because someone is part of a lineage and they're doing their own build and their own style of build, that is at your own risk. So Gift of Legacy, as we presented it tonight, is how you can come in without middleman. You're more than welcome to do that, but please understand that that comes with its own risks. And we unfortunately, Candz, I'm sure you want to say something about that.
Also with supports, if you are part of these programs that have given admin an absolute headache, you are going to be put at the bottom of the list if you are on one of these third-party platforms and you've joined Gift of Legacy in that way. And that is because there is so many requests for emails being changed and just little things that we've got to prioritize. And unfortunately, we always talk about us being a decentralized platform. So if you do have issues, they are going to be put at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, just out of capacity. There's only so many people to go around. So again, also just be wary if someone does invite you to Gift of Legacy and they say to you, I've got this position, it's going to cost you $110. No, because you only actually have to gift the legend once you are on the board. The algorithm will then tell you who you're going to gift, and you're going to gift the legend $100. 100% of that gift goes to the legend. You don't ever have to pay commissions. You don't ever have to pay a platform fee, any of that. So make sure that you go in with your eyes wide open. As we've said, we've got training. We're going to update this with a new schedule soon, but we've got 100 countries. We've got presentations in many languages. There's communities having presentations all week across Asia, the South American countries. There's Spanish calls, there's you name it. There are calls in every language, Afrikaans calls. So we cater for everyone. And we've also had the Zulu presentation calls as well happening now, which is great. And where do you find all this information? Join our Telegram groups. We've got our official group where there's information only. But also really consider joining the testimonials group, because especially if you're new here, hop on there and you can hear from the horse's mouth, essentially. You've got our community speaking about how this is changing their lives, their why, what they're doing here. And it's a great place to take people and to share. So We're almost, that's we've done with that portion of Gift of Legacy, but we just want to share a little bit as another wonderful thing that is available to you if you are part of Gift of Legacy and you've invited your 2 people. Candz, will you talk about Love Heart, please?
Yes, so this is very close to all of our hearts. And recently in South Africa, we've had terrible floods in Durban. And other than donating money out of my own pocket, I decided to actually take out a Love Heart position. Now, I qualify for being able to take out a Love Heart position because I already have my 2 invitees that have been confirmed and they're in Gift of Legacy. So that is the only requirement that you need to be able to take out positions. So they're not for any of us as participants in Gift of Legacy. But if you've got a friend that you know could really benefit from this, but you know they're not going to be able to bring into, and you know that they're going to be space fillers, but you really want to help them, then that's who you're going to give a Love Heart position to. You will sign up for it on the URLs below, and somebody from Gift of Legacy will get hold of you and say that you verified. They'll give you the details to log in. Then you would join a board, or sorry, you would have already joined the board. You will get hold of the legends straight away, ask them how they'd like to receive their $100. And then once the position is confirmed, you can go and hand it over to the person that you want to look after. You can look after it yourself, but you know, if you get to like 20, 30 positions, you're going to get very confused and very stressed out, and it's not going to be joy anymore. But you can take the time from when they're a gifter to a legend in educating them on how to receive their abundance and all the payment gateways and that kind of thing. But it's also for charities. I know Angela and Petra are involved in a lot of charities, and I listened to them speak when we had the launch of Love Heart, and the amount of red tape that comes with wanting to be a sponsor for a charity is absolutely crazy. So what you can do is your favorite soup kitchen or animal welfare organization, you can take out a Love Heart position for them, and you're more than welcome to tell them. But what I like to do is actually, once I receive the funds, I can go and then just donate the funds to the organization. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But it is really, really amazing. And it is for any person that is less fortunate or any organization that looks after the less fortunate. Again, it's only $100. So like I said, if you are getting $11,200 worth of gifts and you want to give $200 to Love Heart, I mean, how beautiful is that? And imagine how many lives we can change with that. So it is an amazing initiative. Oh, and also, let's say you've taken out a Love Heart position and now you found another position. They will always ask you to send an invitee link from the previous position that you took out. So whatever positions you put in will follow each other. But then at the same time, all of the other positions that are coming in from Gracious Givers Movement, which is our nonprofit, they will actually go in order. And they will go from position number 1 to position 1,000 and also place people underneath there. So you can build your own Love Heart sort of lineage, but without having to bring 2. Or you can also just buy a few positions, sponsor a few positions, and then the Love Heart will eventually also start putting positions. So everybody will move. It's just in a different way.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight one thing. You'll see there's a little word that says donate over there. So I know many of you have asked, well, who pays for this algorithm? Or how do you keep the platform running? And you know, as we said from the beginning, we're not asking you to ever pay a platform fee and all of that. Our GGM has been sponsoring and paying for the developers and the upgrades, and it's not an inexpensive exercise. And so if you would, because this is for the people, by the people, for the people, you know, and thank you Candz and the Core 4 and you guys who, you know, put that initial seed money in and, you know, helped get things going and all of your intellectual property. But if anyone wants to donate when you're receiving your gifts, you can donate anything, $5, $1, whatever it might be. It's really from the heart and to continue to support GGM as it looks after our beautiful algorithm. And then please feel free to do that. You can click on the link. You'll see it in our groups, and you can be part of keeping this beautiful thing going and going and going.
And
So
you ever donated, they were anonymous, but they donated $8,888, which I thought was so beautiful because 8 is the number of abundance. And yeah, if you're watching, I just want to say thank you so much to be able to donate that amount of money and without putting your name to it. I think respect and so much love and gratitude to whoever you are.
yes, and the whole community can thank you. Thank you so much for being part of keeping this unique, beautiful algorithm going. Thank you. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've gone a couple of minutes over, but we had lots to share and we just like hanging out with you. If you'd like to know more, please chat to the person who invited you to this call, come to another presentation, and otherwise we will see you all at training tomorrow night. And thank you, Candz. It's so lovely to share the space with you again and to see your face. We have been so busy, we haven't even seen each other yet. So
always a pleasure, and so lovely to see all our regular faces on here. Big hearts and so much love to all of you.
So much. Thank you all, and we'll see you all soon.
Tsunami of love.
Tsunami of love.
Bye,
Good night, everybody.